Andrew MWENDA came out with some surprising facts. He came out to confirm that General Kaguta Museveni, even if he is given another time, he cannot grow the economy of the country. I keep on telling people that I think every leader must have something he does best. There is no leader who can be best for a country for a long period of time because everyone was built with different capacity. General Kaguta Museveni was built with a military capacity. And I think if he had stopped, leading the country, maybe in 1995, and we make sure that we continue with the stability and we get other people who can uplift us in other areas, it would have worked better. And MWENDA came out to say that we cannot grow our economy under General Kaguta Museveni. In fact, he said this statement. Listen very carefully because it's going to form a base for our discussion. Here's the tape.
The state of Uganda, the way power is organized, the way power is exercised, and the way power is reproduced. There's not a single chance in hell that we can even increase it 4 times for the following reasons. And I'll come to the issue of corruption. One, you see, to multiply an economy of a country at that level, you need energy. Would you agree? You need infrastructure. And in each of those areas, this infrastructure can be transport infrastructure, airports, seaports, roads, railways. You need ICT infrastructure. And then, of course, you need energy, dams, transmission lines, distribution lines. In each of those critical areas, the performance of the state of Uganda is characterized by gross incompetence, corruption, apathy, indifference, foot dragging, false compliance, etc. So I don't see how you can achieve that.
So that is Andrew MWENDA. First of all, I want to thank Andrew MWENDA for coming out and speaking like this. Because Andrew MWENDA is in the fold of NRM, is PLU, he missed General Kaguta Museveni. But I keep on asking myself, why is such ideas not given to him? It is the truth. And the truth, let it be said, is I feel like one of the greatest losses Uganda will face is that General Kaguta Museveni is being, people who still believe in him think that they can use him as a panacea to get where we dream to be. Take for example, all countries that have grown to being the biggest economies, to being prosperous, they have different leaders who tackle the different entities. When it comes to China, as our example, okay, Mao Zedong created the fundamentals. It is the truth. He created the base. Then we had Deng Xiaoping. He created the economic base. Okay, now we have Xi Jinping. He has created the global outreach, the technology, etc. Every leader must have a base to build because he has a certain competence. So for me, I think when it comes to stability, you can give it to General Kaguta Museveni. Then if you are to go in human rights, we need somebody like Kizza Besigye. If you had to go in economic emancipation, we need someone else. The problem with Uganda is thinking that we can have a particular leader for a long period of time to act as a panacea to the problem. It cannot happen. And right now, as we speak, General Kaguta Museveni is 82 years. That means even the tenacity, the complacency is going to increase. Hence, the misinformation and the mishandling. Remember the General Museveni of the 1990s. He was so powerful, energetic, moving across the country. Now, these days, even if he has to give a speech, he has to give it well seated down. It shows you that the decline in how the country. Running a country as sophisticated as ours, a third world country, needs a sharp brain, an energetic person who's self-driven. And such attributes are declining with General Kaguta Museveni. So Andrew MWENDA coming out to say that we may fail to get the economic emancipation as it was said, it is the truth. We want to go so far. Another story of the day we saw when people were coming to swear in, we saw the bodyguards of Al-Sisi, the president of Egypt, fighting with the SFC, an army responsible for guarding the president, and I think it was so ugly. In fact, here's it. that is when the SFC was fighting the bodyguards of Assis, the president of Egypt. This has been the modus operandi. I've followed the president of Egypt on very many visits. His entourage normally fights security of different presidents. It is the truth. It has ever happened in Kenya, in Tanzania. And this normally happen between African leaders. I don't know the ego they have. You don't normally see that with maybe the president of America or when he is going to China, etc., with the superpowers, because there is decorum, there is plan for everyone. You normally see those infightings with only African leaders. To an extent that the same thing replicated when the South Sudan president was arriving in Kololo. We saw his bodyguard when the courts are torn. In fact, this is the time. That is the time. So you clearly see that Africans must style up. On a global stage, we cannot continue acting like this. There must be rules, protocols to follow, most especially for leaders who have come in the country. Because a president is a symbol of national unity for a particular country. Such things to happen around him, it doesn't put a good picture when it comes to international politics, when it comes to international stage. So such things must be looked at, most especially by our foreign policy, most especially by our foreign ministries. Of course, as my opinion is truly Mr. Makindi Kabisula Magal. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.